What's up, everybody? It is Don Juan. I'm on my first episode of Speak On It by myself. Season 13, episode 17 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I'm about to speak on it.
I had already heard.
I can turn a shade tree into a money tree.
All right, everybody. Episode 17 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 13. This episode started out like where we left off on the last episode, which was episode 16. We were at Blaze Steak and Seafood.
I really don't know or understand the true dynamic of Marlo's friendship with Portia.
So everybody got a chance to see some of the amazing food from Blaze Steak and Seafood. You got a chance to see some people you know, the old lady gang. And so you got your first look at the new restaurant of Blaze Steak and Seafood, which is located on Cascade, and see the opening before it opened. This was a few months ago. Blaze Steak and Seafood is open now.
Well, I'm super excited for many reasons. I mean, obviously I'm super excited because, we finally got this restaurant to the point where we can invite our friends and have a tasting, which you guys just don't understand. Like, this has been a long time coming. It took a lot to get this restaurant to the point of where it is, because trying to build out a restaurant and do all of that in the midst of the quarantine and all that, it's been tough. We have a lot of different dishes that our kitchen has been working on, and so we've invited our friends to stop by, and they will be tasting some of the new dishes that our staff has made up. Hopefully they'll like it.
I thought this was a good time to regroup with the ladies and everybody come. What I appreciated about this is everybody, except LaToya, came to the opening and everybody was there in support. I think if anything, that showed, even though they have their moments.
Kia, I'm
But it
moving
kind of
baby
feels like
steps
you
with
already
you.
are, though.
But I love where we're at.
Candy, who's kind of Switzerland a lot of times, was the very, okay, we're gonna come and support her. So they all came to the tasting for Blaze Steak and Seafood. Now, mind you, it did have its share of shade. Marlo came in, and when I tell you, Portia paid her dust. She was like, huh, you here? Huh, yeah, who's she talking to? And I think the most epic part is, I don't know if they planned it this way or not, but the cameras had the wind just blowing. Portia was sitting there with her hair blowing in there like, I thought it was super light shade, but it was still like an unbothered phase that I was like, okay, let's see how this dinner goes. So they get to dinner and everybody's enjoying the food. Why does every dinner gotta get real messy? Have y'all ever noticed that? Every dinner get messy. Every dinner table of every reality show, it get real messy.
Prostitution whore, you are f***ing gay 19 times?
You sit at the dinner table and you're like, do they plan for everybody to have knives, forks, and spoons and glasses at the table and it get messy?
Wait,
Don't do anything. Don't let her.
So they're at the dinner table, sitting there having, just conversation about the food and all. Honora started rubbing Ralph's arm at one moment, I was sitting there like, Lord Ralph, don't take our Nora to Tampa. But anyway, like I was sitting there like, what is going on? She was like, my husband way bigger than you and way. Drew sitting over there like she ready to get Chicago on Honora or something like, oh, okay. Honora was like, and what?
Don't me, I'm from Chicago.
So then we start talking and Marlo is talking about her back and Shamia and Portia chime in about, well, we heard.
Somebody that used the same doctor said that you got lipo
The people in the street said
like a couple days before the trip.
you had just had lipo. Okay, here's the thing. Oh, I don't understand why it's a big deal if Marlo had lipo. Everybody on this show didn't had something tucked or snipped or touched or grabbed or breast or something. So I'm like, okay, is this really a big deal? But I do think, you know, Portia kind of is not paying Marlo any attention, so Shamia goes for it. And her and Marlo have their moment as it relates to this. Let me give you a little side information. This information is brought up, and I will say it was cut out later, but I was there when they brought the friend who allegedly said that Marlo had lipo and they used the same doctor. She was at a later scene, which was the pop-up scene. You guys just never saw that information, but I was there when it happened. I don't know if it was true or not that Marlo supposedly had lipo. I'm just saying they did produce the friend who said this on camera. You guys just never saw it. So that's just a fast forward. So they're having this conversation. Marlo said she would own it if so. But then Marlo goes and she gives a little side convo to Candy. And they have some audio. Candy says, I'm not really getting involved in y'all business. But Marlo is like, well, she really told me what she supposedly heard there too. So I don't think she want me to go there. At this point, I really realized they won't be friends for a while. I think it goes there pretty tough. Fast forward, I am gonna say this. This is an off the record thing. I'm sorry I have to say this. So I saw some tweets and an interview or something that Marlo did, and they were talking about, Marlo said something in response to Portia saying something about Marlo being on drugs or something allegedly that just happened.
When you're around here saying you're here for the social justice and for the people, girl, sit down.
Now here's what I'm gonna say. I do not like when they give all this energy, because Drew and LaToya are good for this too, off the camera.
When she was on the coffee table, it was quite disrespectful for her to be dry humping a stripper.
Why the hell weren't y'all showing up and saying all this on the camera while we was filming? Because I'm so tired of these damn Twitter and Instagram people with, well, you was over here doing this and y'all save all this for when you're not filming a TV show. Keep that same energy when you filming a show. Because right now, it's real corny to me that I see it on Instagram. Like, I don't even follow blogs, but people will at me, have you seen this? And I'm like, I don't know if because the reunion has taped that they feel this way. I just feel like it's very blah because I'm not gonna lie. LaToya and Drew drained me all season with this off the camera back and forth shade fest. Because I'm gonna be honest, both of them definitely gave great TV this year, but they didn't give all of that they give it off the camera. If you want me to be honest, that nobody give, like it gave real Housewives of Atlanta, like, catty, funny, you know, shit. Like they weren't giving that during the season. So it kind of threw me off when I see all these offside tweets, but that's here nor there. You get through this and Marlo, you know, she has her moment. Everybody allows it to go and they finish the night. Kenya had to leave early because Mark came into town, which that's another thing. I want her to be happy, but this back and forth with Mark and all of that, I don't know how I feel about this. And like mentally, I don't know if it's good for her. And I don't know what I'm thinking about this, if you want me to be honest. So her leaving, I get it, but I just need her to make a decision on Mark. Am I crazy? Am I the only one that want her to figure out what the hell her and Mark gonna do? Like either shit or get off the pot, both of y'all. You know what I'm saying? For whatever's best for your child. I understand they're married and you can't just break up with someone. I mean, if they've been married 3 years, I mean, they've been together 6 months in real life is what it feels like. I don't know. I just want them to come to some kind of common ground. And again, I don't know what that common ground is. So we fast forward, you know, Cynthia does invite everyone to the pop-up shop. And then that's when we get the real life situation that happened that shut down production. Everybody had their rumors of what happened, why production stopped. Of course, I was like definitely around everybody. So I know when we did have to shut down production, it was like the day of the first pop-up shop. They said everybody cannot come to the pop-up shop. They are shutting it down. Someone did test positive for COVID. They didn't confirm who that was because of, you know, their own medical information. You can't provide that information. Later on, which she showed on the show, Shamia ended up talking about her situation. And I think for me, I'm gonna be honest, even if I don't always agree with Shamia, I thought that was very big of her.
Aww, so my bestie sent me these beautiful flowers and this cute little hot dog. Yes, it's a hot dog. Thank you, Portia. Love you. Already feel better.
Because I think there sometimes is still a stigma with people who have had COVID, or people don't always share that. I think there are people who don't always share that information because people, oh, you know, I think it's getting better, but it definitely comes with people are like, oh, you had COVID. Like, you know, people are still very judgmental about it. So her sharing, I think that was another thing where you guys got to see some of what really was happening when we were trying to film a whole season of a show. Because people are like, oh my God, well, what is happening with this and all? Even with the shields, just to give some backstory, during the season, the ladies are tested 1 and 2 times a week. If you're filming with them, you're tested 1 and 2 times a week. When there are people who are not tested that much, so let's say with Blaze, the staff of Blaze, that's why you see the ladies with shields. With the pop-up shop, you see the ladies with masks because there are other people involved who may not be tested. So they try to maintain a certain level of health and safety with the ladies to be able to film this season for you, which it was really hard. At the scene at the Bailey room, they are all wearing masks because even production was scared that some of the ladies had been out too much. And they actually were scared of some of the ladies because we were going into the holiday season and them possibly having COVID, even if they tested negative. So production required all of the ladies, even in that private scene, to wear a mask. So again, we shut down production. We come back, Shamia tells what happened, and then they finally get ready to do this pop-up shop. I was a part of this pop-up shop. So, can I get the applause? Okay, can I get the applause? This pop-up shop, I was wearing my hoodie in this pop-up shop. I was there with my brand, the New Meaning brand. Things are going great. I have sold out of some stuff. I brought limited stuff because it was limited spacing. And people have been really, really, really like supportive and just super, super nice. So for my first pop-up, I think I was pretty blessed. So I'm thankful. They had a lot of other black business. Kenya was there. Kenya Moore Hair Care, she was beside me. Kenya Moore Hair Care. Portia was there with Pampered by Portia. Cynthia was there also. And then My Music was there beside us with Drew. So everybody was represented. I actually took Candy's spot. She gave me her spot instead of her doing a pop-up with one of her own. So, hey. Candy, I appreciate you because, you know, if y'all see in the video, I had a line of people that was over there, you know what I'm saying? Come and check it out, your boy, you feel me? So they were lined up to come get some shirts. We had our mask, unapologetically, I had on my hoodie. We had our Protect Us hoodie, which Candy was wearing. Portia, Marlo, Drew and her husband, Cynthia and Mike, everybody came and supported me. I have to be very appreciative that everybody did come over there. There's a deleted scene that you can see online where Portia and Candy actually refollow each other, and Portia had on a mask earlier. I was like, Jesus fixed it, hallelujah. She came over there, she had on a mask. You know, everybody was just there supporting black businesses. So I thought it was really good. Again, you can go to thenewmeaning.com and get any of these products, including the shirt, which I have on now. We have the shirt also in red. We have the hoodie in red. We have some new products that came out. I'm the Next Millionaire. Go check that out. You know, that's a daily affirmation. That's one of the new products. So I was appreciative to my friend for allowing me to have, you know, her moment. So I was just in my own zone. And then in front of me, here comes the mess. Drew is in front of me and she starts to talk about something with LaToya that at that moment I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I'm watching the episode just like you. I find out LaToya and the Prophet situation came up. I am not sure at this moment like how I felt about the LaToya and the Prophet situation. So Drew is explaining she can't have her christening, and she had this conversation with her husband prior because LaToya allegedly has this a relationship with the Prophet who is going to, do her baby blessing. I'm going to be honest. What does it matter? Can somebody tell me, what does it matter if LaToya was busting it wide open for the Prophet?
Look, it's innocent.
Say the guilty.
Because just a few weeks ago, Drew was the main one saying,
hey, it shouldn't matter what anybody did in South Carolina.
but now that it's LaToya, they are upset because LaToya allegedly had this relationship with the prophet. So it becomes this whole thing about LaToya is preying on a prophet, which I don't understand how LaToya would be preying on a grown man. That is kind of weird to me. So they start this whole thing and everybody wants to go to the wine cellar to talk about this. Now, when I tell you, I thought it was some epically funny moments in this wine cellar. They're sitting over there, Drew, and called the girl a whole Delilah. Do you hear me? For people that didn't know what Delilah was.
Every man at some point in their life will meet a Delilah. She'll show you how attractive she is, how good she looks.
I was just thrown off that Drew has called LaToya a whole Delilah.
But she'll never let you see how dark her heart is and how disloyal she is.
On this show.
She will show you her beauty, but never show you her intentions.
Delilah, for real.
She glitters and sparkles like gold, but within her, there's nothing of value.
I'm like, we are more concerned about if LaToya was sleeping with this prophet who just finna, bless your baby and put some water over it, than we were worried about if Ralph had somebody in Tampa. We still don't know that. So it becomes this big issue of if she was sleeping with the prophet. So LaToya gets there and Candy,
girl, guess what? I heard you got a new boyfriend.
LaToya like, say what? She like,
yeah.
So they go in the wine cellar and they start talking about this new boyfriend. And of course, like I said, Drew is like,
what? You praying on the prophet, you a Delilah.
And LaToya is very unbothered. LaToya is like, so what now? I don't even give a damn what you talking about. For one, why are we even talking about this? You don't know nothing about my life. You need to be worried about your own. And the prophet, what do you mean? He was helping advise me. LaToya is very much like, she does not care what they're talking about. But Drew is very adamant about this LaToya praying on the prophet. And I don't get is the prophet someone who is just who doesn't know the world? So this woman was just able to come and seduce him and woo him and all. I am so confused on who this prophet is because he should not be advising anybody if he don't know how to navigate in the world with women throwing their snatch at him. I don't think you should be advising anybody then because this sounds crazy to me. But again, even Candy says, well, girl, this is what they said you got going on. And if she is, they grown. And who to say the prophet ain't praying on her? And LaToya gets over it. LaToya walks out. She says she finna go to prophet.com and get her a whole nother prophet because she's not paying attention to what the hell Drew Sidora is talking about. I think it's very interesting when we start looking at the dynamics in these friendships, when we look around, even with this LaToya and Drew thing, Drew is kind of so hurt she felt because she was helping LaToya on this spiritual journey, but I don't think she really ever with LaToya anyway, since LaToya made the comment about marriage. So I don't know when they became so close either, as people question, before when they become so close that, she wanted the best for her, because in the same sentence,
I want the best for her. And I'm trying to help her on this spiritual journey.
And then she
ain't nothing but a whore. She ain't nothing but Delilah.
I'm like, that was just one episode. Never mind. I'm just going to. It was very interesting that Drew was, talking about we're building this friendship. I wanted to make sure she got home, but she took 5 seconds before she told her business. Maybe a day. Because before that, LaToya was a drunk. She was praying on the prophet. It was just that was real quick. And I get it, y'all trying to build. But then in the next sentence, she says,
because I don't want Christianity and Christians to get this look, blah, blah.
Well, sweetheart, I'm going to say this. You just gave a whole bad look to what Christianity can look like. Because if that's the kind of love that you giving to your new friend, who the hell needs an enemy? Because that ain't it. That ain't it. If that's your new friend and she's lost and she's going through this and, she needed this spiritual guidance, then where were you? Where was not the judgment, where was the spiritual guidance? That's what you say for everybody else. I think it was kind of hypocritical, Drew Sidora. So LaToya walks out and she was going to prophet.com, if y'all didn't know, to get her new prophet because she wasn't paying attention to what Drew Sidora was saying. And you get to Kenya's house, which Kenya's house is super dope. When I tell you Kenya's house is super dope, that pool, the patio. So everybody comes over to Kenya's house. I'm gonna be honest. I liked, and this felt really good, that group. You know, like Portia should have definitely been there, but the group that was there and their kind of chemistry, I think this was even one of the times where LaToya was even keeled and simmered. Like their chemistry, and the funny part, LaToya motorboating Cynthia, them having a conversation about, you know, Kenya getting her breasts reduced and all that. Yeah, speaking of that, before that, Kenya done flashed a man on damn Skype to show him the breasts and what she wanted done with him. I was like, this is the craziest thing ever, what a pandemic will do. She got to show the doctor over the video. He's just like, okay, you can put them back up. I got you. I know what I'm going to do. And then they even get to the profit part. Now, this is where it gets very interesting. LaToya says that she did not have a relationship with the prophet. LaToya says she didn't have a sexual relationship with the prophet, even if it wasn't just a relationship, a sexual relationship. That's up for question. I don't know if I believe that part, you know. She says this, and then she drops a bombshell. Well, let me go ahead and FaceTime him. I think it's very damn interesting that Drew Sidora and them didn't FaceTime this man that they so close with. That he didn't do no scene, and they done known him for like 3-4 years. He didn't do no scene with them, but he did a scene where he was on FaceTime, and he had to be cleared and sign a release for LaToya. I think that's very telling. He also drops the bomb and says, they called me, but they ain't even confirmed I was gonna be doing the christening.
Hello?
Say what now? LaToya got them to cancel a christening that wasn't even confirmed. Prophet Lot said he wasn't even confirmed. Yeah, so like, it was very interesting. Prophet Lot said he wasn't confirmed. She said we couldn't use him because of the drama. Then later, I think she said he pulled out. Like, it was very confusing, but I thought it was very telling that this man got on FaceTime with LaToya. And they started asking all the questions.
So, Prophet Lot, did you have this relationship?
So, Prophet Lot, are you engaged?
So, Prophet Lot, you know, what have you been doing with LaToya?
Like, they asked all these questions. And the man was he said he was helping her as a spiritual advisor. He wasn't confirmed for this christening. Now, here's the thing. People in the church do lie. So I'm not saying the man is lying. The man got his Gucci on and his fedora hat or whatever that is. And I don't know that the man lying. But, you know, he told a very convincing story. He only kind of stuttered or kind of took a little bit when he went to explain, you know, one part. He started talking and I was like, okay, you just gonna say yes or no or what's this? You know, I was advising and you know, when you advise, you know. And I'm like, that sounds like some bullshit. I think it's very, like I said, interesting that LaToya could call him and she called him and either they got in cahoots together or it was never true anyway, but he got on national TV with this woman and said, hey, this ain't happening. I didn't do it. So it kind of made me side-eye Drew Sidora. I'm gonna be honest. This don't look too good. Now, I don't know, and I kind of, in my mind, I'm like, ugh. You know, we had said in a previous speak on it, like, I don't know. Some of this, there may be some lying and some fabrications or some buffoonery that's happening with, because some of this doesn't add up. And maybe it's just me. Y'all can comment below. Y'all can tell me if I'm wrong. Maybe it's just me, but I think some of this does not add up. And I thought that was a really good scene. And it leads us to the next episode where they get to read, you know, the last episode of this season. And you get to see Drew Sidora and LaToya about to fight and go at it. It's kicking and fighting. Drew with that little leg that she ain't got the mobility and then the flexibility went to jump and kick. If you see in that preview that they show, she was over there like, I said, oh, she's so holier than now, but now she about to beat the ass is what she said in the damn scene. And they had to get the camera crew and the security to hold her back. I said, where was your holiness then? Your mother would be so proud. The pastor would be so proud. Oh my God. With this whole episode, it was a very interesting look on just like friendships and dynamics, and from Portia being like, I'm here to support my friend Candy. I ain't even paying Marlo no attention, to Marlo being able to go to Kenya's house that she had never been able to go to and see this kind of change, to LaToya and Drew being friends, but then by 2 days later not being friends and Drew telling LaToya's business, and that was very telling. Just this whole dynamic of all of them trying to find the common ground and support each other, but they still messy as hell with each other. It was a very good look into how friends and the dynamics of friends work. But if you you look at your own friendships, how many of y'all don't got a friend y'all argue with? I don't argue with my friends sometimes. I'm like, I ain't talking to you. I don't argue with you. I think that this is what happens. You have friends, you fall out with them, you get back together with them. Some friends hit you below the belt. I think it's interesting for me to see how these friendships develop, you know, if everyone comes back next season. Who am I? I don't know. I would love to see how this reunion went and the things that happened at the reunion. I don't know. I was not there. I'm gonna say this. That LaToya and Drew Sidora are definitely making some good TV because LaToya gives 0. And Drew Sidora has started to proven to be like, you know, like a Eva and kind of lie sometimes, or maybe not sometimes, but you know, like she kind of fib a little bit. Okay, never mind, I shouldn't say that. And then they gonna comment in the bottom and gonna say that I'm just being messy, but y'all ain't catch, she kind of flipping sometimes. Never mind. I'm not supposed to say that, never mind. I'm just being honest, but we'll keep seeing. We'll see about next episode and how that go to and what lie comes up in next episode. I guess that is all I got to speak on it for season 13, episode 17 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. We have one more episode to go. And so then you guys will get this trailer for this reunion. I done spoke on it. If y'all gonna roast me, go ahead and roast me. But if you gonna roast me, please just make sure you like, share, subscribe, and then go to unapologetically, go to thenewmeaning.com and get you a shirt. We got hoodies, get you any of that. So if you gonna roast, go ahead and roast a few sales in some of these shirts. Like, just at least support my black business while you roasting me. Because I don't think I deserve to be roasted. So yeah, if you're gonna roast, just roast, but I'm sorry. But until the next time y'all see me or Candy or us together or the next guest, because we might have a few more guests that might come on speak on it before, you know, before the end of it. Marlo, Toya maybe. You know, we've asked everybody always asks that question, but some people have declined to come on. Keep watching and hopefully you guys get some more of the juice and the dirt that y'all want to hear. So until the next time, I'm Don Juan and thank you for watching Speak On It.
I had already heard. I can turn a shade tree into a money tree.